Lambro, you're going to get us started, and you're going to get us started with right wing. Now, the wing, once we do one, the other one should
Yeah.
go quicker. But go ahead, buddy.
I
Keep
think
soloing right wing.
can I just do both of them at the same time? Does
Yeah,
that make
sure. It's
sense?
a lot of the same players, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I'd keep Masuras, I'd keep Zinkernago, Onyakuru's done, Vrusai is on the bubble. Let me come back to it. Rodriguez gone, Liatos loan, Rangelovic, if he's coming back, keep. Lovera for me is he's a bit on the bubble as well. But I think it's time sail to Cyprus. DB Keita, I loaned first division Greek team. Liatzos is here. I'd loan him as well. Bitiki is another bubble. So my for sure wingers are Masura, Synchronoglu, and then you have Vrusai, Bitiki battling. And then I want to buy one winger or two. So that's where I stand. I think Vrusai, given nationality, may have to stay. He's another one of those who I just want to see go somewhere else to see what we see. Who he's a bit like a Ba and Cisse and Andrutsos, where you say just go abroad, man, go to a new team. Like it's like I want to see you leave for you. Like it's fine him being the fourth choice winger at Olympiacos, but like, does the guy really want that? Maybe he could become something in his career if he went abroad. But that's it for me. So for sure, Masuras and Zinkernagel will stay, and then the bubble is Vrusai and Bitiki, Biducci,
Bututsi.
whatever. Yes,
Malaka. Bututsi. Jesus
Butuzzi.
Christ.
I said Butucci. Adi, I don't know. Fake news.
Martial, go ahead.
Martial, please.
Well, I would keep Masuras, Zinkenager, of course, but at the same time, if he does not want to be here, I'm not sure it's worth it to keep him, at least after the summer. Vrusai I would keep because I'm not sure he has offers to go elsewhere, and he's kind of needed in the team because he's versatile. Rodriguez has to go. Onyekuru is gone. Butucci, I don't really know what he can bring to the team. I don't really know this player because we barely saw him play since he came in January. DB Keita needs to be loaned, but not in Greece. I would say probably Spanish second division if he has a level to play there. I'm not sure. Rangelovic, I would keep because is what come close to a winger for me is someone that is able to dribble. It's what comes after the dribble that is the major issue with Rangelovic, because the the shooting ability, the pass ability, and Lovera, I don't think he can make it in Olympiacos because he's not a winger, and we have a lot of tens already. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
The
laughing.
Wi-Fi. Come on,
River
Martial.
RR.
What's your professionalism? God damn.
No, because I was seeing Ari laughing, so I
I
couldn't
shouldn't have been
concentrate
laughing as
myself.
hard as I was. That for some reason was so funny. River RR. The Bututsi's
Sorry.
name, Bitiki, is a Wi-Fi password, not a name. That killed me. I'm done. I'm sorry, Marcial. I didn't mean to distract you, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, but I was kind of down because I was thinking if Lovera is not a 10, and as a 10, he has no future with Olympiacos. And it was good in Ionicos this season because I did watch a lot of games due to Fadiga, and but his hand product is very low. So maybe it was due to Ionicos' poor offensive area in his hole because they had no strikers. But at the same times, it did not really. I don't know. Since he came to Olympiacos, it did not really click somewhere, neither in Cyprus nor in Olympiacos.
Costa.
In Cyprus, they liked him, I heard, but they didn't have the money to keep him. But he's been what? It's been 3 seasons he's been with us now, I think.
Yeah.
I can't see a future for him, even though he extended his contract last summer before he went out to Olympiacos again. But you got to sell him. If a bid comes in, sell him. It hasn't worked out. Dibi Keita, loan. Onyekuru's gone. Zinkernagel's the one I want to stay. But again, like we talked a lot about him earlier in the season about, why didn't we see him at right wing? That's where he did so well at Buda Glimt. But looking at his stats this season for Standard Liège, he played 11 times as an attacking midfielder, scored 6 goals and 2 assists. Played 5 times as a left winger, scored 2 goals, and played 7 times as a centre forward, scored 1, assisted 1. Didn't play right wing at all. So it's a question of, how does the new coach see him fitting in? I feel like Zinkernagel really needs a coach that's going to kind of say to him, like, I want you, you're going to be important to this team. And that's the only way that he stays. Otherwise, I think he's gone. He's a sellable player. He's worth 4 million on the market. I think there's teams in Belgium already that want him. His coach that was at Liège has gone to Club Bruges now. Bruges are going to play Europe next season. They have money. I can see him going to Bruges personally. Liège don't have the money. But let's see. Masouras, whether we like it or not, is one of those players that's good for the squad. Vrusai, the same. It's the Greek academy player. That's that's something that keeps him there. Who did I miss? Rajelovic I keep too, for reasons Marshall raised already. Gary Rodriguez, go. Mecordella. And Liatos on loan.
I have a question. With Bordalas, we've heard about this 4-2-2. Is he the one with the 4-2-2? Yes. Just give me a shake of the head. Yes. Right.
4-2-2.
No, he's 4-2-2-2. Right. He plays 2 6s, 2 attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
So a front 3 consisting of Biel, Zinkernagel, Fortunis, blank striker. Is that like the dream we roll out in qualifiers? Is that like
Fortunis, Biel, Zinkernagel?
Yes, and then a striker. Biel behind the striker, and then you have Zinkernagel and Fortunis. Either way, whatever, you figure out that combo. Looking at this team, is this the best we have, you think? Like something like that?
If he was the coach, I think that's probably what he would see.
Do?
Or at the very least, that'd be very similar. He would probably use Masouras, to be honest with you, at least somebody that tracks back more, or that's more likely to track back.
Just coming out of the roster, that's what I was seeing, kind of.
Can I just clarify on Rajelovic? Rajelovic is coming back. He will be at
pre-season. Is that confirmed? Who gave us this? Someone gave us the info.
We got a confirmation.
Yeah. What doesn't matter what you heard that been sold. He's coming back. He's coming back.
Just like Koundé.
Exactly. Pierre Koundé had a clause that if Bochum stayed up, that he would stay there.
Obligation.
Reporting on loans has been quite shoddy.
Yeah, very.
Incredible.
But we digress.
I'm still expecting Henry to come back somehow. Just be like, 3.5. Like it was Champions League guaranteed, not Europe. Like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. So for my keep sell loan, I keep Masouras. I like Zinkernagel as a player. I personally would want to keep him, but again, like Gus already brought up, he's a sellable player and he seems to want to stay abroad. I understand that. I'd rather sell him. I'd rather have players that are going to be here. Onyekuru, don't have to worry about it. Thank God. Oust, you and your shitty green hair. Vrusai, I have no problem keeping. I think we saw, as long as he continues to play wing, I think we've seen some good things from him. Gary Rodriguez, glass leg Gary, was supposed to be gone, still here. Oust, Liatos is only 19, right?
He's young.
I'd loan.
Yeah.
I loan him, not B team. Like I want to loan for him. We've heard some pretty good things about him as a player. I'd like to see him loaned. Radejevic, I know you guys like him. I'm done. What's Serbian for get the fuck out? Oust for me. I'm
He's
not a
gotten
fan.
Olympiacos qualifications before with Ammonia,
Don't care.
Krasnodar. That's the thing. Like
Don't
like
care.
Martial said, like just getting through these qualifiers, it's like a knife fight. You just like you want someone like Rangelovic to win a random penalty and win you qualification.
I'm done with.
Anyway.
I've moved on from Radejevic as a player. I'd rather.
I'm
I was
not
happy
dying
when
over
we sold.
Rangelovic. I'm not dying over it.
I'd like to keep Zimer Buduzzi because I did a deep dive on him, and there were some things that interested me. I really wished we would see more of him, so I'd like to keep him. And DB Keita, Lovera gone. Hasta la vista, baby, get out of here. And then DB Keita is a very talented player. I would like to see a loan for him. I don't think we would see him in the team this year, but he's a very talented player that I want us to hold on to. I would like to see him in the future. And that's my keep sell loan for the wingers. So up next, we have our 10s. The number 10, my favorite position to talk about. I don't know about you guys. Costa, you can go ahead and get us started. Who's your keep sell loan for the number 10 position?
Biel keep, Fortunis keep, Carvalho sell, Liatos loan, Lavera sell. That was really easy. That was really easy. And for God's sake, like all of these people about Rajelovic. Okay, let's just see when preseason starts, guys. Transfermarkt isn't always 100% accurate. Their information is only as accurate as the reporters in country, and I'll stop that there.
Binakas's name wasn't on the list for training camp, right?
Nor Kosti,
Nor Kosti,
so they're not
yeah.
involved in this list because they're not being taken to Austria.
Comment from Steve Sai here. What about Binakas and Kosti? I saw two other people had asked about Kosti. Their names weren't on the list for training, so that's why we didn't include them. They're not being included for training camp by Antonio Cordon. God, Lambra, I swear to God, I'm going to call him Alfred forever because of you. My one mistake. Anyway, Costa already went for the 10s. That was pretty quick. Martial, you go ahead.
I only keep BL in that list.
Wow.
Are you loaning Fortunis and bringing Bakasetas in as a replacement?
No, but Fortunis for me is the Payet of Olympiacos. I mean,
He's fat.
No,
that is not a bad comparison, actually. Like, he's the hero of the team. Fans love him, but like maybe he's holding him back.
I would say Fortunis is not creating issues in the locker room like Payet, but it's more than a player for Olympiacos. Like for the fans, for the club itself, it's more than a player. And for rebuild, I mean, just look at the amount of articles Fortunis creates without wanting it. I mean, if he plays, people will say, okay, he should have played earlier. He's better than the stars the club brings to the club and stuff. When he's not playing, the articles say, okay, he should play and stuff, like the Holden Martin stuff when he got benched and etc. etc. It creates, I think, more problems, even if he's not the one that created, but he can't stop that. He's more than a player because he represents a huge part of Olympiacos' modern history. And also, he had pretty much disappointing playoffs for me. And I'm not sure he can guide Olympiacos towards success in Europe. So it's a hard choice, but choice has to be made. Even if I don't make choice for Olympiacos, I would say don't keep him.
Lambro, how do you respond?
If there is a chance, I mean.
No,
I would not
I don't
like the club to
respond.
resign. But
I understand the opinion. I disagree though. I'm with Costa. I think it's Biel, Fortuny stay. What's weird is I'm a bit borderline on João Carvalho. Is that like insane?
No.
Like I'm kind of just like I am also of the opinion bring him in, give him the preseason as well. The other two are Liatos is alone. Lovera I think is sold, but Carvalho is another bubble one for me. But yeah,
For the tens, I'm pretty much similar with Costa. I'm keeping Biel and Fortunis for me. I'm not going to reiterate what you guys have already said. Carvalho, I think I'm selling if I can get something out of him. We don't need. I don't see the need for another like player, creative type of player. He's got a lot of flair. I'll give him that. But we saw so much of like games where he just made it look like so easy. Some games effortless, and then other games was like this guy. What is he doing? So I'm beyond that. I think we need more if we're gonna keep more tens as it were. I'm looking for more people that have more use and that can actually cover more ground. Liatzos already talked about loan, and Lovera I talked about, so that's pretty easy for me. So we only have one segment left, and it is. Well, looking at that list, it's not it's not very good. We've got the forward depth chart, and I guess it's my turn to go first for this one. So we have El Arabi, Hassan, Biel, Abubakar Kamara, and Al Ghassim Ba. Well, I'm 100% keeping Ba. He's looked good this season for the B team. He's a very talented player. I've had my eye on him. AK-47, I don't care where he goes, just as long as he's not here. Sell. And BL, of course, that keeping. If we have a coach, I haven't seen any coach we've been linked with that plays with a false nine, so I'm not sure if he'll be used as a forward, maybe as a second, depending on the 4-4-2 setup. Hassan, I'm done with the Egyptian Penguin. I'm done. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do this anymore with him. If we don't have a striker that we're bringing in to get started, you have to keep him. Because you don't really have any other options, but I'd rather stick with Ba. El Arabi, we're stuck with for another year. You're not selling him. You're not loaning him. You're not getting rid of him. And you can't cut. He's not going to just cut his contract without you paying him out. So I think with a coach like Bordalas, when you see the types of 4-4-2s he plays, one of the strikers is usually relatively physical and can get up for some of those balls, but it's also required to distribute. El Arabi's distribution part of his game has really, really gone downhill the last year and a half. Maybe you get some of that out of him, but if I had to pick two to keep out of this, Biel, of course, I think is not going to be classified as a forward. I'm keeping El Arabi and Ba until we get a striker that we're signing, and then El Arabi's third choice. But that's how I look at it. So keep those two, and then you're still buying a striker. That's how I see it. Costa, you go next.
Well, it's another one of those positions where, your number one's gone, huh? Like Bakambu's gone, just like MVLA in the midfield, you need to replace him. And looking at that list, there's no one there that can for me. El Arabi, for me, is part of the problem. And I don't mean any disrespect. But, we talked about this last season when there was the discussion about renewing him. And I think a big lesson there is you don't renew a player because of what he did, but you renew them because of what they can offer you moving forward. And I think it was a bad call. Could there be a Saudi club or a club from Qatar that comes in? We know he likes to visit there. Maybe the preseason's different because we don't have friendlies every 2 games and heavy training sessions before. Maybe that was a big factor in his decline this season. Maybe it can change. I don't know. But for me, El Arabi, if you get an offer, I think you need to say thank you and, goodbye, like legend of the club. And that frees up a lot of money, yeah? It's like more than 2 million a year contracts. And we need a player like him when he came in. We need a player like him when we signed him 3-4 4 seasons ago, whenever it was. Hassan, move him on, even release him. Pep Biel, you mentioned, like, he's an option. He's an option. For me, he's ahead of El Arabi and Hassan, to be clear. AK-47, get rid. And Al Ghassim Ba is a gem. I think he's been reborn under Ibarasa. Since Ibarasa came back, he's been scoring goals. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing him. I think out of all those profiles up front, he's young, he's physical, he's determined, and he's got something to prove. Yeah, and he's looking to make a name for himself. And I think he has a different kind of motivation, different kind of determination to the others on that list. So he's, for me, starting the season as third striker, but won't be surprised if he turns into something more.
Martial?
Well, having the qualifiers in mind, I would get rid of Camara first. I think we did not talk enough about the fact that we went from loan with mandatory purchase option, from Aris not wanting to keep Camara. Like, it went quite unnoticed for me. But Camara was probably one of the most expensive signing we made last summer, and the whole season has been a disaster. So I'm not expecting him to be able to bounce back even in friendlies. So he better be sidelined before the friendlies. I would keep Hassan because he's the best second striker we've had since a lot of times. The numbers he had, okay, he has I don't know, say that big default in his game, but I would keep him. But I would keep him too. And Al Arabi, as Costa said, need a full preparation in the summer. And last season he was really unprepared, unfit, not ready. Also quite washed, but especially not ready. So you have to keep him for the qualifiers, and I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves by the end of August, for example. Probably a third of the team will change by the end of August. I mean,
Oh yeah,
we will be holding players, I'm afraid. I don't know if it's good news or not. For some of those loanies, it's a really good news for them.
Yeah, I guess it's my turn, and I'm gonna make a surprise. So when I look at the strikers, I think you need 3, right? You need 3. So personally, I want to hold off and not sign a striker until September and try to get, after the transfer window has closed in Europe, try to pick up a big name. Or I want to sign 2 strikers. I want to get one who can jump into the qualification, and then I want a big name like we did with Bakambu. Big name, an opportunity, a player who's trying to get out but didn't get the paperwork through, because our transfer window is this way where you can get some really nice deals in September. But going into the qualifiers, I'm taking El Arabi on good training. Hassan is gone. Biel, I'm not considering. Ba, I'm taking, and this is the surprise. I'm giving Abu Bakar Kamara a second chance. I know that sounds insane, but to me, I'd take him with me. I'd want to see him in preseason first, because he may be fat and an asshole, because that's who he is.
We have no choice anyway.
But we don't have a choice. Exactly. It's that, or I'm going El Arabi, Hassan, Ba, or this is a place where you got to make a signing and get rid of Kamara and Hassan. So a striker has to come in very fast, or those are your options, in my opinion. So, and personally, I would take Kamara with me because of the pace and the ability to press, and who knows, heavy legs in the summer somewhere, he presses and something comes. This doesn't mean I love the guy. Far from it. I think he's a terrible person, probably bad character, but we're desperate here. That's that.
Well, there you have it.